They said it would never happen, that the son of one of the most talked about and polarizing figures in modern American politics would remain under the spotlight, in full view of the nation. But now, everything has changed. The quiet departure of Donald Trump's son from the United States wasn't just unexpected, it was deliberate, calculated, and surrounded by a mystery that has since rippled across continents. What followed this discreet move left not just Americans, but the entire world utterly stunned. In recent months, Donald Trump's family has once again been under intense scrutiny, especially as speculation around Trump's political future continues to dominate the media. While much attention remains on Trump himself and his high-profile children like Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric, it's his youngest son, Barron Trump, who has quietly stepped out of the shadows, and this time, not for a public appearance or media event, but for something far more serious and much more unpredictable. According to insiders close to the Trump circle, Barron Trump's departure was carefully orchestrated. There were no press releases, no public announcements, and no paparazzo tipped off. One moment he was in the United States, attending his private school and living a relatively quiet life in Florida with his mother, Melania Trump, and the next, he was reportedly spotted boarding a private jet bound for an undisclosed location in Europe. Those close to the family offered no comment, but the silence itself raised eyebrows. What followed next is what truly caught the world off guard. Within days of Barron's reported exit, reports began surfacing across European media outlets. Unconfirmed sightings in Switzerland, Austria, and even in Monaco began circulating online. But these weren't just idle rumors. Several of these countries also experienced a sudden increase in diplomatic activity involving U.S. representatives. Something unusual was happening behind closed doors, and Barron Trump's name was being whispered in powerful circles. It wasn't just a family vacation or personal retreat. It was bigger. Experts on international relations and political analysts began to weigh in. Could this sudden move be linked to the growing tension surrounding Donald Trump's ongoing legal battles in the U.S.? Was the family securing an international presence in case of a political or legal collapse at home? Or perhaps was Barron's relocation part of a broader strategic plan tied to the Trump legacy, stretching beyond American borders? As the questions mounted, the lack of concrete answers only deepened the global curiosity. Meanwhile, social media exploded with theories. Some believed that Barron was being groomed for a diplomatic or political role overseas, a move that could eventually shape the Trump dynasty's influence beyond the United States. Others speculated about security concerns, especially considering the increasing political hostility toward the Trump family in certain parts of the country. Still others proposed that Melania Trump herself had initiated the move to protect her son from the media circus and looming chaos surrounding her husband's political comeback. Interestingly, just a few weeks after Barron's reported departure, European news channels began reporting secret meetings between U.S. officials and certain foreign diplomats. Though the content of these meetings remains classified, leaked footage showed familiar security personnel associated with the Trump family near restricted areas. This only added more fuel to the fire. Something significant was unfolding, and Barron Trump seemed to be at the heart of it. It didn't take long for global media giants like BBC, Reuters, and even Al Jazeera to pick up on the story. But despite their efforts to investigate and uncover the truth, access was denied, journalists were stonewalled, sources were silent, and government bodies refused to comment. The secrecy surrounding Barron's movements began to resemble that of high-profile political operatives. Rather than a teenager relocating abroad, why would a simple trip trigger such a worldwide reaction? Why would governments and embassies refuse to speak on it? What exactly were they hiding? In a rare and unexpected development, a leaked email from a European intelligence agency mentioned youth outreach and international mentorship as part of a joint initiative between private American figures and European institutions. At the center of the project, an unnamed American teenager from a high-profile political family. While the email did not mention Barron Trump by name, speculation immediately pointed in his direction. Was this a covert initiative involving grooming future leaders on a global stage? Was Barron already being positioned as a face of the next generation of diplomacy? Critics and supporters of the Trump family clashed over the implications. For some, it was a concerning sign of political dynasty building, turning personal legacy into global influence. For others, it was simply a young man choosing to forge his own path. far from the shadow of the controversy that has long surrounded his father. But no matter what the interpretation, one thing became clear: this wasn't just about Barron anymore. It was about a movement, a shift in perception, and the possibility of the Trump brand adapting for an international stage. To make matters even more dramatic, a high-ranking European politician who spoke off the record revealed that the Trump name still holds significant power not just in America, but across Europe. There are conversations happening. He said, the name Trump doesn't just mean politics. It means influence. It means media. It means legacy. And this move, it's part of something bigger than what the public can see. Suddenly, the pieces started falling into place. Melania Trump's long-standing connections in Europe, Barron's multilingual education, his elite international exposure, and the family's private investments abroad, they weren't random. They were part of a long game, a blueprint quietly being executed, while all eyes remain fixed on Trump's 2024-2025 political ambitions back home. While Donald Trump battles legal controversies and public trials, it seems another story was unfolding on the sidelines, one that involved power, planning, and an entirely different stage. Observers were quick to draw comparisons to historical political families that established influence across multiple generations and even across borders. The Kennedy family, the Bush dynasty now. Perhaps the Trumps were planting their flag not just in American soil, but internationally. And while many might question Barron Trump's preparedness or interest in such a role, the calculated nature of the move has many wondering just how long this plan has been in the making. Some believe this is a preemptive move, that with the uncertainty of Trump's legal future and political instability in the U.S., the family has decided to insulate its youngest and most enigmatic member from the potential fallout. But others go even further. They claim this is not an escape, but a launch, a platform from which Barron can build an identity outside his father's shadow, one that is global, sophisticated, and untouchable. Melania Trump's silence during all of this has spoken volumes. Known for her controlled presence and fierce protection of Barron's privacy, she has made no effort to deny or confirm the reports. Those who know her say this has always been her plan, to elevate her son's path beyond the chaos of American politics. But few could have expected the length she would go to, or the scale of influence being projected through such subtle, careful actions. What truly stuns observers is the global reaction. In a time where headlines are dominated by conflict, economic crisis, and climate threats, this single, quiet move by a teenager has managed to cut through the noise and command the world's attention. And that's not by accident. That's power. Real, undeniable, carefully managed power. As we speak, experts are still dissecting the implications of Barron Trump's sudden disappearance from the American public eye. Intelligence agencies are reportedly monitoring potential movements. Financial analysts are watching for overseas transactions linked to the Trump family. And political strategists are nervously speculating on how this move could reshape narratives heading into the 2026 and 2028 political seasons. Some suggest that Barron's future role may not be political at all. Perhaps it's business, or diplomacy, or even humanitarian leadership. Perhaps the Trump legacy is transforming into something that stretches far beyond tweets and rallies, into boardrooms, international councils, and youth diplomacy forums. The possibilities are endless and equally astonishing. And yet, despite the whirlwind of speculation, one detail remains consistently striking. Barron himself has made no public statement, no social media posts, no public photos. It's as if he vanished, deliberately, leaving behind only questions. That kind of silence in today's hyperconnected world is almost unheard of, and in its absence, it becomes a narrative of its own. Whether this is the beginning of a carefully scripted journey, or just a family's attempt at privacy during turbulent times, no one can say for sure. But one thing is undeniable: this is not just a story about a teenager leaving the country. This is a story about power, legacy, fear, ambition, and the strange new world in which even the quietest steps can cause global waves. And as the world waits to see what comes next, the message is clear: we are witnessing something unfold that goes far beyond politics or family drama. We are witnessing the birth of something bigger, something no one expected, and maybe that's exactly how they planned it.